Hello, welcome. In this video we explained why China invaded India in 1962. The main reason for the 1962 war between India and China was the disputed border between the two countries in the high mountains of Aksai Chin. India insisted that the region, slightly larger than Portugal, was part of Indian-controlled Kashmir. China was said to be part of Xinjiang. The British again proposed a new boundary in 1899, known as the Macartney-MacDonald Line, which divided the region along the Karakoram Mountains and gave India a large portion of the pie. India will control the Indus River Reservoir while China has taken over the Tarim River Reservoir. When Britain sent proposals and maps to Beijing, the Chinese did not respond. Taking this line is permanent on both sides. Time is running out. Both Britain and China combined different lines and the region was particularly concerned, as the area was largely exiled and served only as a seasonal trading route. China was even more concerned with the fall of the last king and the end of the Qing dynasty in 1911, which led to the downfall of the Chinese Empire. World War I will be held with Britain. By 1947, when India had gained the independence of the subcontinent and shared the map of the subcontinent, the issue of Axan China became unresolved. Meanwhile, China's civil war will continue for another 2 years, until Mao Zedong and the Communists win in 1949. China demanded the creation of Pakistan in 1947, the Chinese invasion and the annexation of Tibet in 1950, and the construction of a road connecting China to Xinjiang and Tibet. Relations reached a tipping point in 1959, when the Dalai Lama, Tibet's spiritual and political leader, fled into exile in the face of another Chinese onslaught. Indian Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru reluctantly granted the Dalai Lama sanctuary in India, provoking Mao. In 1961, Nehru instituted the Forward Policy, where India sought to deploy patrols north of the border crossings and Chinese positions to cut him off from the supply lines. The Chinese kind of reaction, wanting a shock other than direct competition. The summer of 1962 and the fall have led to an increase in the number of Aksai Chin borders. More than 20 soldiers were killed in a clash in June. In July, India approved the deployment of its forces not only in self-defense but also in China. In October, even Zhou Enlai personally assured Nehru in Delhi that China does not want war. As the Chinese People's Liberation Army of China, PLA, is massing along the border. The first heavy fighting took place on October 10, 1962. When 25 Indian soldiers and 33 Chinese soldiers were killed. On the 20th of October, PLA Akashai launched a two-pronged offensive to occupy the Indians outside China. Within 2 days, China seized the entire region. The main force of the Chinese PLA was 10 miles, 16 kilometers, south of the line of control by October 24th. During the 3-week ceasefire, Zhou Enlai ordered China to take a position because he had sent a peace offer to Nehru. The Chinese proposal was that both sides be separated from their current positions by 20 kilometers. Nehru responded that the Chinese troops needed to withdraw their original position instead, and he called for a larger buffer zone. The war began on November 14, 1962, with the Indian invasion of Wellang's Chinese position. After hundreds of deaths and American threats of Indian intervention, both sides declared a formal ceasefire on November 19. The Chinese announced that they would withdraw from their current position north of the illegal McMahon Line. However, isolated soldiers on the hill did not hear of a ceasefire for several days and were involved in additional fires. The fighting lasted only a month but killed 1,383 Indian soldiers and 722 Chinese soldiers. An additional 1,047 Indians and 1,697 Chinese were wounded, and about 4,000 Indian soldiers were captured. Most of the casualties were caused by conditions 14,000 feet harder than enemy fire. Their colleagues can take their treatment before hundreds of people on both sides are injured. Ultimately, China maintains actual control over the Aksai-Chin region. In the face of Chinese aggression, Prime Minister Nehru criticized the Prime Minister for his lack of preparation before the peace deal and Chinese invasion. I hope you enjoy our video. If you like our video, don't forget to subscribe, comment and share.